like playing cards everywhere. I've got this other table set up over here and it's like playing cards all over the place. And
I love this. Hello, ladies, we're live. I love that you're sharing that.
oh,
It's perfect, but we are live. So,
this is my life. This is my life is playing cards, numerology. It's everywhere.
And going live.
Let's start there because why not? My cards are all here, like next to me. There's a box below, all the things.
Clearly I wasn't paying attention. So I'm with you.
I love you. I love all of you. I love you, silly nerds. I love you so much. Welcome to our live today. I wanted to just gather together and chat about the upcoming retreat. And I want to talk about a lot of things today, in the essence of what's in the air, what's in the collective, what's coming up with these new moons, because we are going to be gathering at the next new moon. And the energies that are present are just fantastically shifting right now. But first, I want to introduce everybody. So I'll introduce myself first. I'm Michelle Lane. Thanks for being here. I'm a self-mastery mentor, a transformational coach, and a quantum numerologist who's in love with these ladies that are with me because they're my gals. So Jen, go ahead and we'll go around the room and let you introduce yourself.
Well, hello, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. My name is Jen Kohler. If we've never met before, I am also a quantum numerologist, a self-mastery coach, Reiki master teacher, a quantum practitioner, all the things. And I am really excited to be here with these two beauties as well.
And Miss Joy.
Well, I'm Joy Kingsborough. If we haven't met, I'm a possibilitarian. So essentially, I am always looking for the edge of what's next and love unity consciousness and how the different pathways we find to getting there, which of course includes numerology and so many other amazing tools and universal guidance. So I'm excited to be here. Anytime we can play in the field together in an intentional way, the world has changed. And so I can't wait to be a part of what we are. We're doing it now. We're part of the unfolding. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so grateful that you do what you do because I wouldn't be where I am without you.
Oh, isn't that how it works?
So good. All right, ladies, let's talk about retreat. This is why we're here. And it's coming and I'm excited and I just want to like share all the goodness with it. But I just want to talk about the depth of what's possible in the discoveries that will unfold in this retreat when we come together in space, when we come together in circle. I know that there's always that delicious part of the retreating where we eat food, we share time together, we have laughter, sisterhood, we get to be out of our everyday environments, we get to be outside, we get to just slow down and be. And then there's this magical component that I love in the retreats that are created in transformation and personal growth and spiritual growth and allowing ourselves to expand beyond and get out of that everyday doing and land into who we are and what we really want next. Because so often we can think we're thinking these things, but we're so busy doing everything else that we're not focusing our alignment into creating what we want. And then we fall prey to the mind and the patterns and all the things. And so, Jen, I know that you have some input on the moon. And I know, Joy, you'll have some input on the moon. But I just want to see where this conversation takes us because it has been a powerful month or two of moon energy coming in. And I think back to Joy's forecast that she gave us and how accurately it was predicted in this sense of self-emerging and this next big thing for us really rising, whether it's in our families, our homes, our businesses. But it's the time now to dive in. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. It makes me think of the word itself, thinking about retreat and why we love it so much is, there's a couple of different experiences that we have in retreat, which really that lend to the understanding of retreat. And retreat is about discovering how it is that we treat ourselves and how we want to continue to treat ourselves as we move forward. What is the method in which we're nurturing or not nurturing ourselves? Do we have the tools? Do we have the pathway to treat ourselves with continued evolving respect and renewal and the ability to refocus? All of these things I love so much about retreat. And so the new moon is so much about the right? Like, so what you've let go of things and now it's time for the renewal, the moving forward, all of that. And I love that that retreat gives us the opportunity to either emerge into a person who would value the way we treat ourselves, or to expand on that even more, right? To go to the next level of treating ourselves.
That's so beautiful. As I have been planning the new moon ritual for the new moon in Scorpio, that has been everything that I've been thinking. When I think about this retreat, all I can think of is creating the spaciousness in my life to actually integrate the things that I've been releasing or that I've been learning, right? And that I feel like that's so much about what the new moon is about, right? Is what's in entropy, what is decaying, what's dying, and we're moving into Scorpio. So all of that energy, right? And so what are we letting go of? What can you come and let go of? And I know personally, as a mom of a really young child, I have a lot that I really am ready to release. And I know that I'm craving this spaciousness, the space of this home, the space of the women that are coming, the frequency of everything that wants to come through with this new moon is like, what are we letting go of? And what are we creating? What are we visioning? What's coming through for what's next? And that is like my favorite space to be in. So I'm really excited to create this with you guys. It's so beautiful.
And the power of really walking away Sunday afternoon with it shifted, with it cleared, with it gone. These things that are preventing us from stepping into that next level, from creating what we want. And that is the power of coming together in that container. The energy is so beautifully connected. And there's permission to let things rise that want to fall away. And there's permission to feel in your body what it's like to be in your essence and really get clear with what you want and where you want to go next. And right now it's needed in this world. There's no more stepping back, no more playing small, no more dimming the light. It's time to emerge.
And so much of that, not having space to dream. I can feel that so much of the conversation that will want to flow is around that, being able to dream what's next into the world, because you're no longer feeling limited or held back by what you think is stopping you from being able to dream, to really seize new moon energy.
Yeah.
Right? That we don't always need to be in the clearing. It's like, wait a minute, what's on the other side? What's in the clearing?
Yes. And
Right?
that is what I love about coming together, is that experience, an expansion, that experience in, these can fall away, but it's not always about just going back and going back and going back. It's about going forward. And we don't always know what that feels like. I work with so many clients where it's like, what does it feel like to be in the essence of me? I'm not sure. I know what my body feels like with that. And so you get to experience that. You get to go beyond, you get to dare dream, you get to be with all of it and yourself. I know for me, it's been a transition in, okay, this is my moment to dream and write it down and be in the frustration of nothing comes through, or if it doesn't feel right, or all the things that we chase, it needs to be better, and it's not enough. And the moments where it was all just perfectly aligned, and being in that shift, the most profound moments were the times we came together in person.
Yeah.
They were life shifting. And then realizing, oh, I am dreaming. I am doing this. I can step forward and I can own all of this in myself. And I can claim even bigger what's for me.
We all need that. We all need that time together.
So good.
Mhm.
And then there's the silliness, but that's the extra bonus.
That's the gift, right? That's like the fun gift of coming together and being real with people who you might just see online. I know when we all came together in May, it like opened me up to so much possibility of being friends
Yeah.
with people who I saw online or who I worked with or whatever. But like just to have silly friendships, like waking up in the morning with bedhead and sitting with coffee, like
Hey,
that's my favorite thing in the whole universe.
yes. And then being outside with blankets all cuddled and talking and sharing, and like they're priceless memories. They're priceless additions to the package.
And I feel like it's what really opens us up. It's really what is the heart opener is being physically present with people. Being online is so brilliant, but being in physical presence with these people who their light just shines and emanates from them, like being in that presence with people. I know for myself that I always feel so connected with people when I'm physically present with them. It's like, you're just in resonance with one another. And so I really just love that about gathering in person. It's really so important. It feels really good.
I
I
would
love that.
love, Joy, if you would talk about it's like what came to mind when you were talking, Jen, was this mind and heart coherence, like the being able to be in that connected coherence, to
Mhm.
be even more present, to be in that
Mhm.
space and be receiving what's for you,
Mhm.
and how expansive that can be. I'd love for you to share. I know
Mhm.
you've been talking a lot about that on your lives, Joy, but just in retrospect to being in a space like this together, how incredible that can be in discovery.
Yeah, well, it's very much like, all humans, no matter where you are in the world, you have access to the sun. The sun is out there, in the out there, and we have access to it, but it feels different when you're in your house looking out the window than it does when you stand in the full presence of it,
Yeah.
right? Or when you go somewhere where the rays have more potential to seep into the skin. Right? If we could understand just what humanity is, just what being human is. Being human is this biophoton sun. You're this giant light, and inside of you is this beaming energy that when you direct the focus, coherence is, of course, incredibly powerful for your own ability to expand that out. So when you come together with a group who's being guided to that, which will happen at the retreat, I'm sure,
Mhm.
all the time, but coming into your own coherence allows you to beam that light for the world. But then when you're with others, there's an amplification of resonance that occurs. You can do this in an online space and it will create impact. You will feel it. There is no space between us. That we are connected and our focus is there. But for many people, it's difficult to focus at the capacity that's required to experience something that has that depth of experience, that depth of just like really moving into your body to shift you.
Mhm.
That can be difficult for people to achieve
Mhm.
that level of focus and resonance on their own. And therefore, coming together in digital space, you can cultivate that, and it is incredible. But when you come together physically, you can guide each other and you can feel it more quickly
Yeah.
and directly in that space. And so your ability to then focus that even more and amplify it, you have the capacity to intensify that. So you can reach greater amplification levels. So it's always accessible, but your ability to experience group amplification is significantly improved when you're physically connected,
Mm.
Mhm.
right? Which
I
is
feel that.
there's nothing quite like it.
Mhm. There isn't.
We are intended for it. We didn't come to this world to stay separate. We came to this world to connect and to play and to have the interplay and the interconnection. We came for all of that. So the idea that we are becoming more separate and staying in our homes even more is sort of the antithesis to what human wanted to be. And so it's that, the breaking out of that is so crucial to humanity's evolution, humanity's well-being, the mental well-being, all of these things that are happening. It's not only that it feels really good, your own mental well-being is at stake if you're not coming together with others.
I could not have said that better. That was yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Michelle?
You're gonna go ask what I was gonna.
I wrote down some questions before.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I want to talk about what it looks like to channel with you, Joy, because you're going to come and do some channeling at this retreat, and I could not be more thrilled by this because I've been working with you for a long time, and I after that first 6 months or a year of doing work with Joy and Jonah online, I think I said that I felt like I did a decade's worth of work in 1 year. That was how powerful that experience was for me. And I would like to say that actually in retreat, being physically present with Jonah was like amplified. I don't know how many times, infinitely.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about, what does it look like to channel with you? What does it look like for you to channel with us? I mean, you can go wherever you want with that conversation. I'm sure that that question will make sense for you. What does it look like for people to come together physically with you and to ask questions and channel?
Yeah, you're tapping into, so channeling is it creates an opportunity, just when we're talking about the sunlight that moves into the body, that biophoton beam that moves in the body, you have that, or everybody has that.
Yes.
Everybody has that already. When you channel, you add to it, right? So I'm bringing in a stream of consciousness that's adding to that, that frequency. That light that's being emitted, the light that we can see, the light that we can feel, the light that we can hear. When you're in physical proximity, it's palpable. It's I would liken it to being at a concert. To hear music online, say you were to be in a Zoom call listening to a concert, there'd be some delay. Sometimes you hear things in sync with others, sometimes you don't. So the channeling is like that. It's moving frequency of this concert of vibrational collaboration. It's moving through. So moving through a Zoom space, it takes its own pathway and creates that impact. When you're in person, there's no delay, and it's permeating the cells of the body. It's that frequency is not only being heard, the messages that you receive can be, and often are, incredibly life-shifting. But what you feel shifts you rapidly. So where you were looking at 20 years in that year, you could easily have, several years of shift in a weekend.
Yes.
Right? Because you're feeling it. The cells of your body. One of the things that humans have a hard time fully grasping is that it takes a while for you to integrate something, because you are a collaboration of trillions of cells, and those trillions of cells must shift. Right? So in a weekend, when we are physically together and we spend that kind of quality time together, we can shift a huge percentage of the human body's cells together, which then creates that integration. Now, you can choose to consciously change those cells, and you can change you can change 1 trillion or so cells in a weekend. But if you have an energy that's moving in and helping to talk to all the cells at the exact same time, it's like having thousands of conversations at once coming into those cells, and trillions of cells are shifting multiple times. You're not just moving through one shift, you're moving through one shift and then another and another. So there are waves of shift. So you can start off, as we come into conversation, we're going to channel a few times in person. And in that channeling, the first one's going to shift you. There's going to be a wave of shift that moves into the cells of your body and changes how you're thinking before we get to day 2.
Right.
And then on day 2, from that thinking, your cells have new questions. And so then you're asking new questions, and then another wave moves through. And so by the end of that weekend, instead of having one change that you consciously move through, you could move through dozens.
So good.
So that's the power of that. And so, knowing I'm open and I'm curious and I'm willing to ask the questions that arise in that moment. You might have questions before you come to the weekend, things that are like, okay, for the last 5 years, I've been trying to figure out how in the world to break free of this money pattern or this relationship pattern or this health pattern or whatever it is. We can come into conversation, and because of the nature of that channeled information, we can flow through information that can shift, that can alter the pattern, can open up a new pattern. And instead of just breaking the pattern, you can then get to the next stages of curiosity of implementing what's new. So incredible possibilities from that. Right. So you get a chance to ask those questions. You get to and even if you don't ask the question,
Oh yeah.
the question is yours, and you can be changed in the same way by being present with someone else's question.
Right. What do we always say? Like, if the question is in the space, like, it's for you too. It's always for you.
Yeah.
You get the secondhand shift.
Yeah. Is that our new hashtag?
Yeah,
Oh my
secondhand
gosh.
shift.
Sweatshirt, secondhand shift.
That one's good. I like that.
The permeate
sure.
cells of your being. Like the whole time Jen was leading into this, I'm like, oh, it was like this huge cellular shift that I walked away from. But it was, again, over and over. So I wouldn't have been able to put the words exactly as eloquently as you just did. That was amazing. But it's so true.
Yeah. You'll forget what question you had at the beginning of the weekend. You'll have whole new questions at the end.
Totally.
You will. And you'll know that you've shifted. Like you're also not going to leave the door the way that you walked in.
No.
Beautiful.
Which means the integration afterwards is different. Sorry, Jen, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I think that's one of the things that I love about bringing channeling to a retreat space is you're getting all kinds of nourishment in this space. And oftentimes you leave a retreat and it doesn't stick. Right. And, we have to be real about that. People they get really excited and they want to move forward all these changes, and they go home and the kids are crying and doing the things that it's hard to maintain it. And so something happens with the channeling where, because enough of you has changed, the habitual energy required for the integration has already heard. Yes. Right. Your cells have seen it, heard it, felt it enough replications that going back to your life, you go back changed, and you have what to do to shift your exterior world as well there. It's very different.
That's what I love about the quantum energy work too. Because that
well, it's all quantum energy work, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it though?
Isn't it? Can we be real with the folks?
Totally.
That's what it means. Yeah, it is. And I just love that this is a beautiful time for that. This is a beautiful time. And I think let's talk about too the willingness to go. Like I hear so many people, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I really want to make it happen. Oh, I want to be there. But we're so used to finding the reasons not to be that starts to take over the thoughts in the mind and then the next action. And we were kind of having a conversation before this on, even though the world feels like there's so many impossibilities, there are equal or more possibilities to getting there in the room, being safe, being in enjoyment, allowing yourself the nurturing and the nourishment.
If you're brave enough to let yourself want to go, really, think about what that means. To be brave enough to want it, because so often people are afraid to want it because they are filling their mind with all the things you just said.
Yeah. Fear.
I can't do this. I got this. I've got the kids. I've got whatever. I've got these restrictions, whatever. Yeah. If you're brave enough to want it, the world will open up for you and a way will be made. But you've got to be willing to tap into, this is why I said I'm a possibilitarian, because you've got to be willing to believe in the possible. What if it's possible that all of the things that must be done are going to be done. You're going to have a holiday. You're going to be with your families. You're going to be doing these things. You're going to finish work or whatever is on the list. You're going to do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
What if you're capable of more?
Right.
What if that's the whole point anyway? What if that's the reason you're even pulled to this is because you believe there's more? But in order to get to the more, you have to believe there's more for you now. And that the more could be the universe saying, I'm with you, I've got you. Here's what you need to go. Here are the pieces that make this possible. What if that's the first miracle you could experience in the unfolding of this retreat? How cool would that be? And what would it cost you to be that brave?
Right. The women who've signed up and are coming, every one of them was a conversation of what's possible for you.
Yeah.
And then them allowing themselves to say, oh, that makes it possible for me.
Mm-hmm.
Asking the questions, having the conversation, owning the curiosity. And they were all in. And the minute they said yes, so many more things unfolded in the direction of, oh, now they're so glad. They're like, I'm coming.
I think Jonah is screaming at me to say this. So let go of control, right? Isn't that always the conversation? What are you controlling? How are you trying to control all of the things? And I know this is a personal, like definitely a personal conversation for me, is having a young child and a husband who love him. They are perfectly capable of managing a household without me. And for so long, I didn't actually know that that was true. It wasn't even that I didn't believe it was true. It was that I didn't know it was true. I didn't know what it would look like for them to operate without me, and how would they manage without me? How would they go to work and go to school and do all of the things? And guess what? I've now left them numerous times, and they love being without me. They actually love being without me because they get to have their own personal relationship. So if you are a mama and you are like, oh my gosh, how would I leave my babies? And how would I leave my husband? And how will they eat? And all of those things. We've been there. I've been there. I mean, I can't speak for all of you, but I have been there myself. And I know that letting go of control and really looking at why I'm controlling all of the things has been such a huge thing. So if that is an issue for you, come to the retreat.
Well, and you're choosing control over being you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Joy. Yes.
Being your greatness, being your extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Without doing anything different, you're already extraordinary. Like,
Right.
come experience that.
And also your husband or your partner is also extraordinary. And your child is also extraordinary.
And they love to have that relationship.
And capable.
Without you.
Sometimes leaving them helps you remember that.
It does. It's so good.
Because you might not be feeling they're extraordinary right now. You'd be like, not mine. I got to get out.
You're like, I got to get out.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I said that yesterday. I was like, what do I need? I need space from all of you people. I cannot wait to retreat. And I don't know what you're going to do, but I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, I was writing the food post earlier this week. I'm like, I would just, that was enough for me. I was like, yes, please, someone else cook, clean, do it all.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
I remember some of my first retreats, almost in this apologetic way, trying to do all the things and get it all ready and make it perfect. So when I was gone, nobody would miss me. Like shit was handled, right? And I later learned that the retreats I started wanting to go to, the spaces were longer and more time away and further. And I also learned it wasn't about any of those things. It was about me having a conversation with that part of me that was afraid to have the conversation, to find out that there was no problem. There was nothing in my mind that was created of the difficulties. And my husband's like, go. Please go do something you love. Please
get out of here.
Please leave.
Please stop trying to control everything.
We're going to be great. No, I'm just kidding. But I had this story in my mind of how exactly what you're saying. It's like the next level of, oh, you can't do it without me. But it was more of me being afraid to go shine than it was to leap, right? Like it meant so much more. If I went, then what? If I went, who would I be? What would come next? And it was the best thing I ever did for myself. really? Can you hear my dog?
It's so good.
So yeah, that I just wanted to throw that in because there's always going to be a reason why it's not a good time. There's always going to be a reason why it might feel hard. And when you decide to literally commit to the decision,
Yeah.
it does. It opens up.
Because there's a reason until there's not, right? And if there's a reason why you can't even open the door for you to emerge as an extraordinary being, if there's always a reason you can't even start, then stop dreaming now, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kinder to stop
Yeah.
It's
No, I
true.
agree.
Don't drive yourself
It's true.
than
crazy.
to keep dreaming and never begin,
Yeah. Oh, that's
right?
profound.
That's
Because and all it takes to get to your dream is one decision after another.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's actually really simple to fulfill your dream. But if you're not willing to make one decision towards it and then keep compounding that decision with another decision, then you won't get there.
That's right.
And that was a hard truth I had to face, in the beginning when I wanted a channel and I wanted to bring more, spiritual connection into my business. And so it took doing one brave thing after another brave thing after another brave thing until it stopped being brave to be me.
Ugh. Again,
Right?
So good.
that is exactly right. And we're never done being who we are. And we're never done being able to open that door. And we're like, I think one of the greatest gifts from not only knowing both of you but just being in this space together and in community together has been the ability to see myself in a way I wasn't even considering before. Like I wasn't a consideration. I loved who I was as a person. I was nice. It was good, but like I just didn't understand at the depth to what I could truly do. I could achieve, but who I could be and how just being me could ripple out to the world. I have layers I still uncover on, oh, okay, you're going to see me in all my stuff now. Here we go. I like this, or this is what I do. And it's like this moment converged this year where I don't care because I'm enough and more than enough. I can't wait to share with you. And if this is your jam too, come on in. Let's go. And I'm so grateful for that because I was not there even last year. I was not there for sure 2 and 3 years ago. So does this work change you?
Yeah. And what's interesting about that is it's not that you don't care. You actually care more than you've ever cared.
Yes.
What you're not doing is fearing.
Yes.
You're filling all of that fear with care.
Loving it. The vibration of love is coming in and it's transmuting all of it because it's like sometimes for me to say, okay, I've been on a spiritual awakening. I've been on this journey. Like the language of that is where the nuggets are. It's like I can just own what that means to me and move into it and understand that it's happening, whether I'm wanting to deny it or not. And if I stop denying it, I can just be more of me and let my soul song sing and discover these additional spaces and places. And that all of this is natural to who we are as humans if we allow it to flow.
It's beautiful.
So good.
I can't wait, ladies.
Okay, and it may snow.
So yeah, snow.
So good. Okay, so I think I'm feeling complete with this.
Yeah.
Anyone
I'm
else?
gonna go find my snow boots and my winter clothes and
These boots
start packing.
There will be singing. There will be playlists.
There may
will
be
be
dancing.
delicious, fun experiences.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait. Okay, so November 4th through 7th, Emerge Women's Retreats. I will post a link into the comments.
Perfect.
There are all kinds of juicy goodies being shared, so keep an eye out for those on just the write-ups and the pictures and all the good things, which I love. And it's not too late.
Come ask me questions.
Oh yes, thank you. Ask us all questions. Please have the conversations, have the curiosities, find the possibilities. Let's get you there. If you're called to be in the room, you're meant to be in the room.
I can't wait to hear what you have to ask, what you have to say, where our conversation goes and how you co-create this retreat with us.
Yes.
I'm excited.
ladies, thank you for taking
Mhm.
time today to be here this
Mhm.
morning and sharing this.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to
Okay.
not only hug you in person in just a few
Yes.
short weeks, but to expand this experience together. So,
Yes.
all right, have a beautiful day. We'll see you in all the spaces.
Thanks, ladies. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.